Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to the Sweetwater Minute. This time out, a versatile storage solution from LaCie. Let's get started. Today we're checking out the LaCie Big Dock Thunderbolt 3, a versatile storage solution that combines a RAID drive along with a hub or a dock for your other storage solutions. At its core, the 2big Dock Thunderbolt 3 is of course a RAID drive. There are two hard drives inside, and those are Seagate IronWolf Pro Enterprise class drives, so they're extremely fast and extremely rugged. Using the software that comes with the RAID, you can configure it for either RAID 0, RAID 1, or as just a bunch of drives, which means that the drives are all functioning independently inside the enclosure. In RAID 0, the two drives function as one large drive. This gives you the fastest performance and the largest capacity. In RAID 1, the two drives are mirroring one another, so when you copy data onto the unit, it's automatically backed up onto the two drives simultaneously. This slows the performance down and gives you half the capacity, but you automatically have that backup created as soon as you copy your data over. In JBOD, or just a bunch of drives mode, the two drives function independently, so basically you have two drives that are inside one enclosure. All of this is managed using the LaCie RAID Manager software that comes along with the drive. As a RAID, the 2big Dock Thunderbolt 3 is capable of transfer rates up to 440 megabytes per second. That's extremely fast. You can connect the unit by either Thunderbolt 3 or by USB 3.1. Of course, Thunderbolt 3 is a bit faster, but you still get extremely fast performance with USB 3.1. As an example, I have a large studio project here on my MacBook Pro. It's a little bit over 80 gigabytes of data and about 16,000 files. I timed the transfer over unscientifically just using a timer on my iPhone, and it came up at about 6 minutes 46 seconds to transfer that over. That's still fast performance considering that we were mirroring to the two drives. If we were operating in RAID 0, the transfer would have been much faster. The 2big Dock Thunderbolt 3 is available in capacities from 8 gigabytes up to 20 gigabytes. And again, depending on how you configure it, at RAID 0 you'd have from 8 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes of capacity. In RAID 1 you'd have from 4 gigabytes up to 10 gigabytes of capacity, but you'd have that automatic backup. But you aren't limited to just the drives that come inside the 2big Dock Thunderbolt 3. It's actually a hot swappable chassis, so we can pop out the drives and insert new ones in just a second. Let me show you how that works. Even though this is hot swappable, I prefer to unmount the drive and turn the power off just to make sure my data is protected. So we'll power down. Inserting a new drive is as easy as pulling out the chassis in front, removing the drive, mounting it into the sled, and putting it back in. Power back up and you're good to go. There are two other great features of the 2big Dock Thunderbolt 3. The first is connectivity. On the back panel, we have two Thunderbolt 3 ports. This allows you to daisy chain up to 5 devices, so you could use displays, you could use additional hard drives, you could connect an audio interface, and all of that can filter through the daisy chain and get back to your computer. So that's a very convenient feature. And in fact, those Thunderbolt 3 ports can provide up to 15 watts of power, so you can charge your computer while you're using the RAID. If you have an older computer with Thunderbolt 1 or Thunderbolt 2, we can use a Thunderbolt adapter that goes from, say, Thunderbolt 2 to Thunderbolt 3, and the unit will function just fine. But we also have USB 3.1 on board, so we can connect older computers with USB ports. Finally, we have a display port on the back panel for hooking up a monitor. The power switch on the back panel serves as our confirmation switch, so when a question is asked inside the RAID Manager software, you can confirm that by just pressing the button on the back. You can also use that button to spin down the drives and put them to sleep, which conserves power. Our second big feature of the 2big Dock Thunderbolt 3 is the hub on the front panel for other storage devices. First up, we have a USB 3 port, and that could be used to charge a device like your phone or a peripheral, but it also serves as a hub feeding USB from your computer, so it's very easy to plug another storage device right into the front. We have compact flash and SD card slots on the front, so if you're using those media, it's very easy to connect them to your computer and to copy over to the drive. To manage all of this, the 2big Dock Thunderbolt 3 comes with LaCie's RAID Manager software for Mac or PC. This is very simple software. It allows you to configure the drive for RAID 0, RAID 1, or just a bunch of drives, and you do all that right here in one window. You can look at an overview, which shows you the two internal drives. Here I'm set up for RAID 1, so I have two 10 terabyte drives inside the unit that are mirroring one another. We can also look at the individual drives in the array. In this view, disk 1, which is on top, disk 2, which is on the bottom, view various details, the status of the drives, and the Manage button is where we access the array configurations. So we delete the array and then tell it whether we want it to be RAID 0, RAID 1, or just a bunch of drives. The software can also send you notifications, let you know about updates. There are various little settings, but you really won't use those very often. You'll use the RAID Manager software when you want to change the configuration or when you want to check on the status of a drive. If you're looking for a high-capacity solution that either gives you an immediate backup of your drive or extremely fast performance, you're definitely going to want to check out the LaCie 2big Dock Thunderbolt 3. The additional features like that connectivity on the back panel, the slots on the front panel, the USB hub, all those are extras that make this an ideal solution for recording studios where you want to save your data and ensure that it's safe and that you can access it quickly. Thanks for joining me for the Sweetwater Minute. I'm Mitch Gallagher.